I mean, I'm American. I'm born in America. This is my country. But I will never stand on the Lebanese lineage. That's a fake lineage. It's a fake country. All right? So everybody's got to get their act together. And you know what I hope happens, guys? I hope this is actually going to be the death of You supported Assad yesterday, and why you betray him now? I was getting attacked yesterday for throwing Assad under the bus, so you don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I've never criticized Assad before because I didn't want people to say that, oh, you're part of the opposition. And no. I just know I know things that I don't say in public because I don't want to contribute to the enemy, you know? But it's over now. Now it's over. We can be honest and be ruthlessly self-critical. Now is the time to be ruthlessly self-critical about what just happened. You know? You see, I don't critique. Notice when I'm silent. What I'm silent about, you got to read between the lines. I've always been silent about Syria or about Assad because there's a reason for that. I've always been silent about it. Because a lot of y'all that were gassing up Assad, you don't know that he actually isn't really a good leader. I'm not saying that because he was brutal and he was a tyrant. I wish he was, both of those things. It's because he was an eye doctor who didn't know what he was doing, and Prigozhin, the yellow people, and Iran did everything for him. You're not taking this well, are you? Listen, bro, at the end of the day, I live in America. I'm American. And all of you Syrian opposition people, y'all, y'all should get on your knees and beg me for this advice. You should get on your knees and beg me to give you this advice I'm giving you. For free, by the way. Syria is free now. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about free Syria. Let's talk about free Syria. Let's talk about free Syria. Israel just invaded. The Kurds and the SDF are not going to go down without a fight. Don't be sitting here on that free Syria business. Let's not make a mistake. Syria is going to be worse than Libya. It's going to be ugly and brutal. Y'all are celebrating? Yeah, keep celebrating. Keep celebrating. Keep celebrating. Keep celebrating. Syria is going to look worse than Libya. Do you even know who HTS are? Forget that, though. The SDF and the Kurds, they don't want no part of it. All the minorities in Syria, they ain't want no part of it. The Christians, the Alawites, the Shias, I'm sure the Druze, the Assyrians, they're not going to tolerate this. They're going to fight. They have skin in the game. They have militias. They're not going to go easy. All right? If you think this is over, see, the only thing that's over is Syria's sovereignty for now. For now, Syria's sovereignty is gone. For now, Syria's stability is gone. For now, the thing that kept Syrian people safe is gone. That's the only thing that's gone. This is going to be chaos for the years and years to come. Anyone who celebrates this doesn't know what they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, I'm sitting here telling you that Assad brought this on himself because of his weak governance and his incompetence. But don't mistake that for like, oh, it's good that he's gone. Absolutely not. It's not good. Syria is cooked. It's cooked. If you knew what they're doing to the Christians right now in Syria, if you knew what they're doing, these crazy gangs and thugs are doing to the minorities in Syria, you would, wow, it's really, really bad. I don't know, this guy's trying to be the next Zelensky and lie to the media that he's like a moderate, but his soldiers are really up to no good I can't say it, on the worst things that you could imagine they're doing to Christians, they're doing to Shias, they're doing them, okay? And the West is supporting them, of course. How silly, how silly. but because they're liars. Because they're lies. That's why I'm confident it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. There's too much diversity in Syria for these gangs to be successful in whatever they're trying to do. And the Kurds are not going to accept it. Nobody's going to accept it. So have fun. Honestly, have fun. And you know what? All the people that celebrate what's going on, y'all are so funny. Y'all are so funny. Because, you know, what the hell? Y'all are so funny. Because, I think I accidentally invited some people. Y'all are so funny because it's like, yeah, you just want Israel to win. You know what's funny about the sectarians that make it a Sunni or Shia thing? It's like, okay, the yellow guys are Shia, and the only reason they got roped in this is to protect the Sunnis in Gaza. So y'all played yourself. If this was about Sunni versus Shia for you, y'all just played yourself. You think the yellow guys and the Shia needed to tag into this? They didn't. They did, though, because they're honorable. And you ruined it. So you played yourself. What, you think, who do you think wins from this? You sound like, okay. But am I wrong? It's like, you played yourself. You said, oh, we destroyed the resistance. Yeah, what were they resisting? Why was Syria so important? Do you even know? Why did the yellow people defend Assad? Why? Because they like Assad personally? No. Look at a map. Look how I can't say on TikTok. Look at how the fireworks flow, you know? Crucial logistics chain and supply route. And why is that important to resist who? You what? Saudi Arabia? No, Israel. So congratulations, you played yourself. Yeah. Go sign your Abraham Accords. Go sign more Abraham Accords. You just dishonored yourself. What are you celebrating for? You just dishonored and played yourself. Go sign more Abraham Accords. Go sign more Abraham Accords. By the way, anybody who wants to talk nonsense, why don't you request? Why don't you request? Now, if you all don't know what's going on, Syria collapsed. Syria's like done. It's cooked. Totally collapsed. There's no request button. Yes, there is, because somebody just requested. Someone named Lucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yo, can you hear me?
yeah.
Yeah, this situation's pretty fucked right now. What do you think about the future of the SDF in the region?
Yeah, bro, what is this? Like New York Times, you're gonna interview me? What is this nonsense? Like I'm trying to get an interview. Like what is this? Like Reuters News? Care to comment, Mr. President? Just nonsense. Like no common sense. Oh, people say I'm mean. I'm mean. Okay. I'm chill with that. And now I don't know how to escape this prison I'm in now. Dylan with the watermelon. Usually, when someone has a watermelon, it's a sign that they are in polyamorous relationships. Go ahead, Watermelon. What's up?
Don't ask people to join a live and they get mad when they ask a question, you tanky bitch.
Why don't you turn your camera on, bro?
Nah,
Let's see
I'm
what
fine.
let's see what's behind all that energy you got. Let's see what's
Nah,
behind all
I'm
that
fine.
energy you got. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. What's
I'm
it
fine.
like gargling Putin's cock?
Yeah, look where your mind is. It's no surprise. Look where
I'm
your mind
the
is.
pro-democracy mind. Yeah, my team's winning. Feels good for a change.
How is your team winning?
Because the dictator lost.
So did democracy win? Genius? In Syria,
Probably
did
not, but the
democracy win?
dictator lost. So
So
there's
what was the
that.
so what's coming in the stead of the dictator?
Probably someone who's not going to gas their own civilians.
Yeah, it's okay that they're just taking their heads off and stuff though, right?
Yeah, they can take the heads off the people supporting the dictator. That's fine.
Okay, so why isn't the reverse fine?
Because gassing civilians bad.
Yeah, but isn't it bad to take people's heads and do a lot of things I can't talk about on TikTok? Aren't those things bad?
Depends if they're actually fighting for Assad. Nah.
Why is Assad bad?
Uh, Aforementioned gassing of civilians. That's a good one.
Yeah, but we're kind of chicken and egg. Like, if it's okay for the reverse to do similar atrocities, why is that okay?
Do you think gassing civilians is
You're
the
you're, you're
same
kind
as
of
punishing
the
people
other
who
things are a lot.
fought for the gassing of
First of
civilians?
all, what you're talking about is a lie that
No,
Jackson
it's
debunked.
not.
Okay,
It's
watch
not.
the debate with Jackson and your dad Vosh and see what happened. But
No,
anyway,
I'm okay.
yeah,
I don't need to see Nazis
yeah,
debate
yeah.
Bosch
So
anymore. It's
anyway,
fine.
it's a made
I
up.
don't. I'm okay
Uh,
seeing Nazis crying is fun to a point, but I'm okay with that right now. Thank you.
so you are okay with all? You're really against Yahtzees, except the Ukrainian ones, I imagine, right?
No, I'm pro Ukraine.
Right. So it's okay for them to be Yahtzees, like openly, right?
Is this a cognitive issue you're dealing with? What Ukrainian Nazis are in power?
You don't know about Azov? What's
The
Azov?
couple
What's Azov?
thousand
What's Azov?
units. Well, Azov itself is a region in Ukraine,
What is
but
the
the Azov
Azov battalion?
Battalion is a
What is
group
the
of far
yeah,
right Nazi lunatics
right?
who have been used as
Who have been
basically cannon fodder
integrated
by
into
the.
the Ukrainian army,
Yeah.
standardized and regularized,
Okay.
and that's okay to you. So stop calling people Yahtzees. You're the Yahtzee.
I'm a
Nobody else but
Yahtzee
your
for
team are
not
the
liking
Yahtzees.
Yahtzees.
There
Okay.
are no
Okay.
Yahtzees on anyone's team but yours.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the socialist has the Nazis on his team. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we know what kind of socialist you are, the national kind.
Okay. So I'm okay with Ukraine using Azov as cannon fodder against Russians. That's
Okay,
just fascists killing
on behalf
fascists.
of what? The Stepan Bandera's Ukrainian National Project. Do you know who Bandera is?
He was Putin's puppet before 2014, right?
All right, and that's where you snooze, you lose. So when you say Stepan Bandera was Vladimir Putin's puppet, you're not qualified to talk to me anymore. It's that simple. If you're gonna sit here and you have so little knowledge of anything that you're claiming Stepan Bandera was Putin's puppet, you are not educated enough or qualified enough to speak in my presence or to my audience. You are a time waster who doesn't even have the basics of education down, and you have embarrassed and humiliated yourself in front of the world. Anyway, that thing, by the way, speaks for itself. Democracy is winning. My team is winning. The rules of TikTok really, really, really hold me back. But I really think it speaks for itself what I would like to call that person and describe them as. And that is, well, I don't even know what I could say, honestly. Like, wow, that is like a different speciation going on in humanity, and it's just not one. So listen, that guy you just saw, that type of subject who wears glasses and talks like this, and my son is winning, and the testosterone levels are, all these things, right? That specific subject is with Al Quesadilla and actual Yahtzees in Ukraine. And that is the team that they're on. So whenever you see these sensitive people, these estrogenic sensitive people with glasses, oh, that's like a soft, that's a liberal. Yeah, but that's also like a barbaric Yahtzee. Because look at who their allies are globally. That's literally their true face. I asked, he goes, my side's winning. I said, is Syria a democracy now? Probably not, but it's good because the dictator's gone. So what do you call an Al Qaeda? That's not a dictator? What are you even talking about? Democracy? What democracy? What a foolish, brainwashed, silly person. What a silly, pathetic, brainwashed person. And then I go, who's Stepan Bandera? And he goes, that's Putin's puppet. There you go, guys. That's our opposition. That's our opposition. Assad wasn't even a dictator. He wasn't. He wasn't. If he was that, he would still be where he is. Guys, I'm going to tell you something for the 6 guests that are requesting. We only want haters. If you're a supporter, we're going to roast you. So you better quit before that happens. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to get off the request if you're a supporter. We're not here to have an open panel. Only debaters. That's it. All right, that's enough time. Some dude with our logo. I don't understand these fucking people. It's just like crazy. M.
Keyboard coming in at a price tag of $229.99. However, that's too much money for this keyboard.
Yo!
Currently priced at $161.76 at the time of filming.
What
so
the
it's
fuck?
not actually that price point. And it makes it much more worth it. But you have to be okay.
Dude is sitting in his bed with the TV on, and his phone went up his bum, and something got clicked and some button was pressed. And, the dude, he let out a fart. And some button clicked. This dude rolled over. He's eating Cheetos, eating chips. Complete recklessness. Zero awareness of his surroundings. Anyway, we're going to bring up Joey. Here we got the people with the bad internet connection, We got the dude who's playing Overwatch with low latency. Can't shut off the video games, just gotta waste all our time with these long loadings. Thanks for nothing, Joey. Go ahead, this other guy.
I just want the Kurds to win.
Go get a prize. Go get a medal. Go get an award. Go grab a what do you think I am? You think you rubbed like a lamp and I'm a genie and you're going to give me your wishes and I'm going to grant you wishes and fulfill wishes for you? You think I'm like a what? You think what am I, Santa Claus? You're gonna come sit on my lap, ask me what you want for Christmas? I'm Santa Claus now. I'm a wish. I give people what they ask for Christmas, and it's ridiculous. It's like Christmas is around the corner, so every time they talk to someone with a beard, they think it's Santa Claus. Jake, Another guy who farted on accident. Uh, Ryan. Another dude playing Overwatch. He's got his connection is terrible. Lotch. Again with these people playing video games, World of Warcraft, whatever they're playing. Clash of Clans on their Wi-Fi. They don't got good internet because their latency and their bandwidth is all being taken up. A bunch of nonsense. 3 of them in a row. 3 of them in a row. 3 of them in a row. A little bit ridiculous. 3 of them in a row. It's like a, it almost seems like it's a me problem at this point. Mandy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Man, what a I used to be on this app, believe it or not. And I would post some content and people would tell me to check you out.
Who asked?
I really
Who asked? Get to the point.
Anyways, yeah, this is like unbelievable. I see people celebrating today as if this isn't good.
Well, believe it. What do you want me to say? It's unbelievable. Again, people think I'm Santa Claus. Like, oh, I don't know if I believe in Santa Claus. Can you please go? What do you want me to tell you? People get this idea I'm a nice guy. I'm not nice. I'm in a bad mood tonight. I'm in an angry mood. So if you're coming on, you better have some beef. Anyone who's likes me and is friendly with me, you're going to get hurt tonight if you talk to me. Anas. And get this dumb dog off my screen.
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah, dude is just popping in, popping out like whack-a-mole. Caleb.
Gotta give that block 2 of building that thing.
And get this dumb stuff out of my life. And I'm stuck in this like tic-tac-toe thing where there's 9 boxes and I don't know how to get out of this jail. Man. How do I fix this? Like, what do I do? Like, it's like tic-tac-toe. Settings? Oh. Wait. So what is the panel? Your guests will see the layout. Oh. All right. Yeah, I'm big again. All right. Finally. We restore some order. Anyway, guys, look, I know we're joking and it's... Man, get this stuff out of my life, man. We're joking and it's, we're whatever. We're trying to make light of things, but it's a really bad situation. And, again, it's time for some self-criticism among people who just blindly have faith that these boomers are going to get the job done, and they're not. And this is why you need Marxism. You need a proletarian dictatorship. They said it was in the dustbin of history. Look what happened to them. Frankly, this is the most evil thing I've said, and I never wanted to say it. But Iran, I'm telling you, its leading intellectuals after 79 kept saying, Marxism is done. It's over. We have a new thing. Man, what is that new thing? What is that new thing y'all got going on? Marxism is done. Now it's the Islamic time. Okay, which version of Islam? Is it the Shia or the Sunni? See, that's the issue. You see, it's sectarianism. Um, the only thing that works is communism. And for all you say, well, when it comes to liberating your people from foreign domination, all that works is Marxism. It's the only thing that works. It's the only thing. And Assad was trying to adopt neoliberal policies. And, it led to a lot of people without jobs and a lot of angry people that were very easy to exploit by NATO and by these bad actors. And they were exploited, They were exploited, and that's that, But we got double. Go ahead. All right, this dude is just. Silco, go ahead. Yeah, I like them as small boxes. That's what I like to see. The small box in the corner. Look at these NAFO guys. How am I coping? How am I coping? Silco, go ahead. Yo! What is that? Double. Go ahead.
Yo, you're not a communist, you're a Bonapartist.
Okay, how?
Because all you want is an authoritarian state to basically just take over people. Like,
All right,
communism is controlled by the people directly.
was
So
Lenin
you're not a communist.
was Lenin a Bonapartist?
Lenin abandoned communism after a while.
All right, so I know what ideology you have. All right, okay, how many states are there in a country?
1,
How many people are there?
millions.
So, how do hundreds of millions of people control one thing? Can you explain directly? Like you're saying directly. How does that work? Break it down for
Councils, democracy, bottom up
Break that
control.
break that down though, specifically.
So people can make decisions in groups. Did you know that? People can make decisions in groups, and then it can go all the way up the
How do,
ladder.
but that's the same, okay, with China and the Soviet Union both had that.
No, China and the Soviet Union don't have shit. China has a bunch of billionaires. China's more capitalist than America in some
Well, you just
aspects.
described, they call it the
Nick
birth.
Nick Nick Land literally went there because capitalism is like thriving there.
Okay, you're very cultured, you know about Nick Land. But the thing you're describing where you're layering the the like input of local whatever town halls, Soviets, and those constantly go up and up, that's literally the communist system in both China and the Soviet Union.
No, it's literally just state managed capitalism. Commodity production wasn't even abolished.
All right, I'm beginning to think you're a troll, but I would ask you this question. If you're upset that, the real levers of power were not directly, how should I say, the consequence of decisions made by these, federated or representative, these hierarchical representative councils, uh, how do you make like decisive choices in the heat of the moment? You don't have time to like go through this really long, arduous process. You have to make single decisions for the whole state, for the whole people, now or never. Like, how does that work in what you're talking about?
Um, well, I don't know. All I know is
Yeah,
Chaz.
I don't
It's
know
the only
either.
good socialist country, you
That's
know.
that's
Cha
that's the issue. I don't know either. You say you don't know. I don't know either. And what that shows is that you're just kind of talking out of your bum. You don't know what states are. You don't know what the difference between individuals and collectives are. You somehow think collectives are reducible to individual choices because you're a liberal, because that's methodological individualism. All right? Don't come up on me and talk about Nick Land like you're cultured and you're going to avoid common sense scrutiny. All right? Um, because I asked you a very basic question you couldn't answer. And you said you didn't know. And that was enough for me. Uh, yikes. Yikes. It's like, I go, how do millions of people make a decision? He goes, man, get this stuff out of here. All right. How do I request? You click the request button. You click the request button. All right. Anyway, guys, you get paid from those things. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell my soul to be a ridiculous costumed monster. Um. Anyway, guys, look, I'm just trying to tell you that look, at the end of the day, what's going on in Syria? The guy who said I was coping. Listen, bro. I don't know if you can tell, but I never had a lot of faith in Assad. My faith is more with Russia, and it always has been. And say hi to Zelensky in 3 months. Say hi to Zelensky for me. Hey, what's gonna happen to Zelensky, bro? What's gonna happen to Zelensky? All y'all that are saying I'm coping. Yeah, what do you think is gonna happen to Zelensky, bro? Go say hi to Zelensky for me, bro. I never been to Syria in my life, and I've been invited 3 times, and I never went. But guess where I have been? Guess where I have been? You know, you don't know what I actually care about, what I have faith in versus what I think is more or less cooked. I've always thought Syria was cooked. I've always thought Assad didn't know what he was doing, and he was incompetent. I've always thought that. By the way, a lot of guys thought that who were there, like the Wagner guys. They didn't have a lot of faith. And, you know, read what they said. Read what they said. Okay? But don't come up here and act like this is my doomsday. I am sad for the Syrian people. But don't act like this is my doomsday. I'm chilling. I'm in Michigan, bro. I'm cool. Okay? I'm cool. This is not my doomsday. This is the doomsday of Syria. And I feel sorry for them. You're trying to rub it in my face. Why are you trying to rub it in my face? I'm not going to be negatively impacted by anything on a personal level. It's the people of Syria that are going to go through a lot of problems now. And Assad was maintaining the stability. He just wasn't doing a good job of it. Goober, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm calling in is because I'm just kind of curious as to what you think will be the future, what will be the future going forward, now that Assad has fallen, because like this seemed to.
Bro joined. He thought I was one of those vending machine fortune tellers they got in Vegas with the turban on. I will tell your future for you. I will tell your future. What kind of question is that? Do I look like ChatGPT? Do I look like Google Gemini? Do I look like Grok? What do I look like to you? No, not that intelligent. All right, come challenge me then. Everybody who's challenged me so far said Stepan Bandera was Putin's puppet. That one's still funny, I'm not gonna lie. Someone should clip that. Someone should clip the part where the Destiny/Vosh guy said that Stepan Bandera was a Putin puppet. You haven't started a position. I get this crab out of my life. You haven't started a position, then what are you talking smack for? You nincompoop. Yeah, the NAFO people come in. Oh, this is the worst day for you. Man, Do I look like I would wear that hat in real life? If I won't wear that hat in real life, don't send me that hat in the virtual world. If I'm not wearing these hats in real life, don't invent them in the virtual world. And get this dumb train out of my life. We're not going on any train. This is a train to a bad thing that's going on. We're going off the rails on the crazy train with what's going on in Syria. Um, you know, but no, I'm just telling y'all. We all saw this coming. I've been talking about this for a long time. How could it have been avoided? Offensive, offensive, offensive. The Israel's a paper tiger. They're not gonna. Everyone thinks they're gonna use the atomic, like atomic particles. Everyone thinks that they're not. It's a bluff. They're not gonna do that. So all you had to win the entire region and to motivate, you'd see that the people in Syria, they needed an outlet. They needed an outlet, and that outlet could have been just go all out on Israel. Everyone should have done that in October last year, like I said. They haven't done that. They wanted to play it safe and defensive and not take risks. In doing so, all they have done is actually imperiled the resistance as we know it. Guys, the thing that I think is bad is that the resistance is not just crippled, but arguably it's like it's gone. And the revolutionary forces in the region are going to be starting from scratch. They're going to have to build from scratch. And this is how history works. Before Marxism, there were all these kinds of religious socialists and all these. In Ireland, there was these people resisting. They wanted the Jacobites in Scotland. They wanted the return of the Catholic monarchy. And it was a romantic failure. And they had to learn and wise up and adopt Marxism and scientific socialism to learn how to resist. That's what James Connolly did. So when the Irish were defeated constantly throughout history, people could have said, it's over for Ireland. There'll never be an Irish republic. But no, this is history. History is a long time. It's... You see, these things are not going to happen in years. They happen in decades, and for the region to be free, it's going to have to go back to the drawing board. And that's genuinely what I think. The region is going to have to go back to the drawing board. It's going to have to go back to the drawing board. And that's the unfortunate truth. Back to the drawing board about, look, 79, that was another moment. The traditional Marxism wasn't working. So they went to the drawing board and they found the Islamic thing. And the Islamic thing was better, it was more effective. But now that has run its course. And now they need a new ideology. They need a new outlook. They need a new vision. And they need a new thing, I'm not Armenian. I'm not Moldovan. I'm not any of these things y'all are talking about. I'm Tartarian. Look up Tartaria. It's a real country. I'm Tartarian. I'm Uzbek. I'm Turkish. I'm Persian. I'm a lot of different things. Tartarian. Egyptian. Ethiopian. A lot of different things. All of that mixed up into one ethnicity. Anyway, we're going to So, bro is named Virginian Communist. That don't look like a debater. If you want to come and debate me, you should debate me hostile. I don't want friends. I'm not looking for friends. I'm not in a good mood. I'm not in a good mood. And if you come up here acting like a friend of mine, you're going to get your heart broken. If you come up here acting nice to me, you're going to get your feelings hurt. You got to come up here and stand on that same business that my demons stand upon. So, and then the haters are nowhere to be found. They're nowhere to be found. But I know y'all are watching. And then again, we got this nonsense. And again, we got this nonsense. And again, we got this nonsense. And again, we got this nonsense. Where people are giving me hats. If I want to wear a hat, I'll wear a hat right now. I can put on a hat right now. I have hats. I have hats. I don't need hats. I have many hats. I have a lot of hats. I don't need your hats. Situation in Syria is not looking good. I can tell you that much. It ain't looking good. Do you support Iranian leader? Pezeshkian is a traitor. Pezeshkian sold everyone out. Pezeshkian is the reason everybody got. And whose fault is that? It's the fault of Iran for not building a state with, can I say, balls on TikTok? No. Go ahead. Dude just ran away right away. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pathetic. Disgusting. Yo! Dude is playing Overwatch. His whole bandwidth is being taken up by low latency gaming. He's playing Nintendo Switch. Wasting all our time with this nonsense. Playing Clash of Clans Royale. All the bandwidth is being taken up by some nonsense. Dude's downloading Call of Duty. He's downloading everything. He's playing games. He's streaming movies on 8K on Netflix. And his whole connection is messed up because this dude doesn't know how to have internet. You're on the Wi-Fi now, but I'm not seeing nothing going on. And that's the problem. Pro-Assad or HTS? Well, Assad is... Well, am I banned? Never mind. Well, Assad is gone. So I don't know how I can be pro-Assad if he's gone. But I'm pro whoever takes up his banner and continues to resist. And who succeeds Assad is who I support. Whoever that is. Salah Jadid, come back, bro. Salah Jadid, come back. But this dude who requested, he's playing Overwatch. He can hear me. I can't hear him. I can't hear him, and that's the problem. And that's the problem. And that's a major problem. Because this dude, I mean, everybody's awake over Syria. It's crazy. And by the way, I didn't even want to go live. I wanted to relax and, watch a movie or something. But, I'm doing this because I want to just tell you guys the truth. But this guy's crazy. Why am I in a bad mood? I'm in a bad mood because how badly it was fumbled in Syria. See, look at this guy saying Syria free. Syria is free how? How is Syria free? Syria is going to undergo its darkest and hardest moments in the coming years. Syria is not free. Syria is going to be ground zero of some of the most hideous conflicts in the history of the region. Worse than Libya. So it's not free. Israel has invaded. Is that freedom when Israel invades? Guess who was preventing that? Assad was. Now he's gone. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy with that. And by the way, I hate that flag they use, which is from the French. That French flag. I can't even call you what you deserve to be called using that French, the green and the white and the black. That's the French stupid monarchy colonial flag for people in polyamorous relationships. Get this out of my face. Okay, you're in a polyamorous relationship in France and you share it with France. And that's what's going on when I see that flag. You're in a polyamorous relationship sharing that thing with France. So go ahead and fly that cluck flag like a clucking chicken. And the real flag is the one with red. You're in her with Russia and Assad. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. It was Russia that trained the Syrian officers who overthrew the monarchy and made their country free and sovereign for the first time in history. Syria was a country on its knees before the Ba'ath. And that's the truth. There was no such thing as a real Syrian state before that point. You sound slow with that ugly, disgusting flag from France. That French flag you fly. Traitor to your own land, traitor to your own country, traitor to your own homeland. Yeah, how is Syria free? How is Syria free? How is Syria free? What's free about the new Syria? How is Syria free? One person come up and explain how Syria is free. I want one person to come up and explain how Syria has now been freed. Go ahead and explain how Syria is free. Free from what and free how? Virginia Communist Party. How are you a communist party? Go ahead. Go ahead and explain how Syria is now free.
Because now it's just trolling. I was just trying to get in here.
Go ahead. This other guy who left. Wow. So No is back. It's always going back to no one. No one. Did you finish your Overwatch match?
I was not playing. Can you hear me, first of all?
Yeah, how is Syria free?
No, I agree with you there. I wanted to argue about something else because you were looking for opposition. Am I good to do that, or do you just want to talk about Syria?
Yeah, but make sure that the Motorola shop that you're at, somebody is attending to the front desk, and so you can actually do this without, having the customers wait up in the line.
Bro, wait, what are you talking about? Like, is my connection that bad?
I'm talking about we're hearing sounds from the future with that Elon Musk Tesla bot seems to be way too close to your phone. So why don't you go somewhere and actually say what you want to say?
All right. The thing is, I just moved, so I'm on my phone. I'm using my data. That's probably why my connection is shit. I apologize for that.
Do I look like that woman from the AT&T commercial? Go ahead.
All right. So my question is this: does Jackson Hinkle just have complete impunity to do what he wants, or is he subservient to the party?
What are you talking about? Jackson is part of the party. Of course,
Right, he's part of the party. Is he subservient to party directives, or can he just do whatever the fuck he wants?
No, we don't. Every time he tweets, we don't have him draft the tweet to the executive board and have us sign off on it. That's ridiculous.
That's not what I asked.
Well, he has general tasks he has to fulfill, and he does them very well.
All right, but in what way does like aping degen feds like Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit help anything?
Well, I don't know what to tell you. These people that have given Jackson a platform, no one else has given us platforms. So what does that say?
Like that didn't answer the question at all. How is him calling Jews Christ killers? How does that help anything?
Name one time he did that.
He did that in one tweet that I can remember.
No, he didn't.
You're right that he didn't specifically say those words, but he implied it. There was room there.
Yeah, just like how it's implied that you're anti-Semitic if you criticize Israel.
No, not the same way at all.
It is kind of the same thing.
There were people in the server, there were people in the ACP who themselves were taking issue with that tweet. You had to make an announcement.
Right, and that's something.
Okay, let's stop talking about this publicly. Take it up in the.
Not the ACP server. That was the IGG server. You don't know about the.
I'm not in the ACP, so I don't know. But I'm assuming that conversation kept going in whatever ACP channels you have. I would hope so. Yeah. But then my question is, why not? Why is he then just allowed to act without any sort of, I
don't know what you're talking about. Jackson does what we task him to do for the party. He has done more for the party than can be put into words. And, he tweets like 80 times a day. And you're talking about like one or two over the course of the last 6 months that you got people's like made you upset. It's like, what do you want?
A lot of, I'm not gonna shit on Jackson, but a lot of his popularity on Twitter stems from non-Americans. And I thought the whole point was to try to gain American acceptance. But Americans just do find it uncouth to be calling women, slurs, or you're saying weird shit.
I think most Americans don't bat an eye toward those kind of things because they know he's not serious.
I think it depends on the age.
I don't think he's calling women slurs, all right? I think that people are really over-exaggerating Jackson. I mean, he's made jokes on Fresh and Fit before the party was even formed. But I don't even know what people are, since the party formed, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Do you think the sort of content that Fresh and Fit makes, do you think that's not degenerate?
Well, yeah, I mean, in a sense, of course, but I don't know what your point is. I mean, yeah, there's like a lot of only, we can't say it on TikTok, but yeah, I mean, it's just like, but is that just a reflection of the state of our society is another question, or are they the cause of it? I don't really think they're the cause. I think that it's a reflection.
No, they're not the cause. There's this sort of like general irreverence and this sort of like edginess. Like, there's that, I don't know the name of the podcast.
But I don't think just because
whatever. So I get what you're saying. At the same time, I think that, as the thought leaders of the party, you should try to not, and I'm not going to say tailism because that's not what I'm talking about, but just try to be a little bit more or less uncouth. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get that. And if you could notice, when I went on, it was like a crazy degree of formalism to the point where people thought I was like a robot, by the way. It was very hard for me to be relatable because I had to not tell jokes and be completely like because I'm the chairman. But frankly, it's like you need to understand where the masses are at and where the masses are. And that doesn't mean you're tailing them by communicating with them with the language they understand where they're at. That doesn't mean you're tailing them. Tailing them means you're not getting an in. You don't have any angle that is leading them toward another conclusion, which we clearly do have all the
When you
time.
say masses, do you mean alienated 15-year-old boys, or do you just mean the population?
I'm sorry to tell you, dude, but the fresh and fit audience is not primarily alienated 15-year-old boys. It's literally so popular among men younger in the sense of like 18 to 35 men.
Yeah, but 35 in the sense that they're economically stunted because they're still in the same economic category that they were when they were 15.
Maybe, but that's what's going on with the working class in this country. What do you want us to say? What should we communicate only with the successful salaried careers and the
No, that's
Netflix
not right.
writers and
That's
salaried
not right.
employees at big
I'm
corporations?
just saying there could be a little bit more, just an attempt to, not be so inflammatory.
Yeah, I mean, but we have been making that attempt. It's just that when people misinterpret one thing he says out of like a million, people like lose their minds and decide to make a big deal over it. When in reality, it's like, get your priorities straight. The majority of real people in the real world are not that sensitive. It's just the truth.
All right. See, with the Jew thing, that was ACP members though, or maybe not ACP members. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was people on the infrared server who were saying, "Yo, what the fuck is this? Yo, he shouldn't have said that." Blah blah blah.
Well, I think a lot of people misunderstood it because they didn't know that Jackson is reading Michael Hudson right now, and he's talking about the history of pro-creditor elites in general, which originates in ancient Greece and Rome. Michael Hudson describes it, and that is our theory of like who runs the world. Basically, is like the creditor class. I mean, there's a general thread throughout. So,
Jackson had no idea that was the illusion that people thought he was making when he made that tweet.
people automatically jumped to the thing you're talking about. But if you read Michael Hudson, who was responsible for what happened to Jesus? Well, it was the pro-creditor class.
The Hudson book. I get that, but I guess just returning to the initial question, and then we can end this so you can talk to somebody else. You're saying that he's basically unsupervised. He has complete authority to do.
Well, Jackson knows what he's doing. I think saying we have to supervise him implies he lacks self-control, which is just not true.
What it implies is that everyone is subservient to the party.
Everyone in the executive board is subject to the scrutiny of the executive board, so we're accountable to each other. So he's accountable. Absolutely, I'm accountable.
All right. Thanks for the conversation.
Yep. All right. Anyway, guys. All right, let's bring up someone else. Mr. House. Wow, this guy's got like 1 million followers. Yo,
what's up, man?
what's up? So,
Wait, so do you think Assad's dead? And if he is dead, who killed him?
I don't know actually. I've been on this instead of the news, so I don't know if it's been totally confirmed, but I did hear that his plane was shot down. But anyway, what do you want to debate about?
Oh, I'm not here to debate. I was just going to ask about that.
Okay, so you have a really big following, so what's going on with you?
Oh, I posted like North Sentinelese videos of like people chipping out, and it went viral.
All right,
So,
this guy is. He's just coming on talking about gibber. He's just like coming on like asking me what do I know about what happened to Assad. You think I'm gonna go easy on someone because they have a huge following? I don't care. So we got people doing that FSA French colonial flag. Why don't you get up in here and request and stand on that business with that French colonial flag you are flying as a cluck of France, and selling out your own country's sovereignty with the red flag that had the red flag. So, Don, why don't you come up and request and explain why you think Syria should bow to the West? Can you explain what's happening in Syria? There's good news about it. It's really bad news for Syria and for the world. So basically, there's going to be more refugees, more instability, more, remember the really bad thing that emerged from the Syrian civil war that was the really bad guys called ISIS? Like, something is like that is going to be generated again, but probably worse. And this is bad news for the region and the entire world. Yeah, I do know what I'm talking about because the HTS guys, the Kurds are not going to have any of it. Minorities are not going to have any of it. These barbarians and savages, frankly, are going in town to town, committing atrocities against Christians and other minorities as we speak. And we have on the ground confirmation of that fact. And the Syrian people are very divided, and they're not going to just accept this. As much as Assad failed to get a reliable base of support, that doesn't mean that there weren't a lot of people in Syria who preferred him over the alternative. There were. I'm a leftist Democrat, very frustrated with the party. Why join ACP? Well, I would say that we have the most experience and proven intention to actually create political sovereignty out of everyone else. We want to be a sovereign new party that doesn't answer to anyone. It's our own party. It's our own authority. We're not tailing behind any other party. And it's a new beginning for left-wing politics in general. And what I would say to you is that if you can commit to basic principles, which is the historical synthesis of Marxism-Leninism, I think what's going to be contentious for people interested in that is an acceptance of Deng Xiaoping's contribution and Xi Jinping's contribution. It's necessary to have a correct view of geopolitics to be in the party. It's one of the other preconditions. But besides those things, and you have to be committed, obviously, to the idea that there can only be one communist party. But besides that, you're free to have whatever position you want. And there is a decentralized kind of structure where there isn't one view or one line or one practice that's imposed. There's a lot of experimental freedom to discover. So we're trying to discover in addition to build a party. There's a lot of experimental freedom you have to basically figure it out in ways without being constrained by the central authority, and experiment and get things done. And it's a very practice-oriented organization. So that's why. Okay, Adon is finally here. So, Adon, do you know what the origins of that flag you fly is?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Adon, are you Syrian?
No, I'm not. I'm American, just like you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I absolutely support what's going on in Syria. Okay? Al-Assad had it coming. 50 years of a ruthless dictatorship, and you think that it's he was an incompetent leader. He should have done more. He was too weak. Are you kidding me? It was a totalitarian police state.
No,
it was totalitarian. He gassed his own people, and you think that was too weak? Syria ran. Go ahead. Talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, totalitarianism is what they should have had, and Syria would still be here if they.
So you know how corrupt Syria was, right? It ranked second to last in terms of corruption in the entire world, right?
Well,
is that not totalitarian?
Even if they were corrupt, they still had their own sovereign state infrastructure, which they don't have anymore. And now every country is just going to come and exploit them and steal everything. So have fun with that. I mean, you're not even Syrian, so why would you care?
I'm
But
not Syrian. Why would
the thing
you
is,
care about
if
any you just said you spent like 30 minutes going on about how you're American and how you live in Michigan, yet you visit Russia and you got invited to go to Syria. Why do you care? I think you only care because Assad was Putin's bitch, right? Oh, I don't know if I could say that word. My bad. I won't say that.
he should have been more subservient to Russia. He really wasn't. But
He
and
should have
then
been more subservient. What did Russia do for him? Russia pulled out. You know why they pulled out?
Russia did everything for Assad. Are you kidding? Anyway,
Well, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
look.
Russia is
Without
incompetent.
Russia,
Let's get.
without
We agree.
Russia,
We
he would
agree.
have
Russia's
fallen much
incompetent,
earlier.
right? Russia's tied up in 15% of Ukraine right now. My bad.
Okay.
Because of NATO dollars
Well,
to Ukraine. My bad. Russia's incompetent. You're right. They couldn't do anything to help him. Right. But you're saying, no, he should have been harder
not
on his people.
incompetent.
He should have
He's
sent more people to prison. He should have gassed more people. He should have been more totalitarian. He should have been more left wing communist or whatever.
right.
In reality, you're asking for the situation to be worse. Why do you think an insurgency happens in the first place? You think an insurgency just happens because people are weak? Because he's
North
not like Kim
Korea-
Jong Un or something?
Yeah,
No, an insurgency
North Korea
happens
doesn't
because
have
of
this
the
problem.
exact systemic
Why are you getting
problems that you
so-
have in the first place with totalitarianism.
Why is Yakub getting emotional about a land he has no connection to? Listen, the thing is that North Korea doesn't have this problem, never had this problem. China will never have this problem, and even Russia won't have this problem.
China had this problem. Tens of millions of people died. Syria's only population of 22 million, so there's a big difference there. I think.
This is the.
I think there's a big difference there. Mao Zedong.
This is like the babble. I don't know if I could say the word, the psychiatric babble I'm talking about, where this guy's talking about the Great Leap Forward. Well, that wasn't an internal rebellion, okay, that overthrew the state. Completely different. So what are we even talking about here? In any case, look, yes, Assad was way too soft. He did not double down in terms of his authoritarianism. He was too, conciliatory and too soft, and he really wasn't interested in building a mass base of support through land reform and things like that. And look, you're saying Syria was corrupt. I don't necessarily disagree there was a lot of corruption, but it was still a sovereign state tradition and authority that was there that could have been redeemed and reformed in some kind. So, for example,
I think we disagree with the fundamentals.
I have to educate the Yakubian because he keeps babbling.
I think we disagree with the fundamental of what makes Syria better, right? We want the same thing for Syria, right? Like a peaceful, prosperous nation,
No,
right? Can we
I
agree?
just want the rules-based order to be destroyed. But basically, look, what I'm trying to tell you is that Syria now doesn't really have a state. HTS will never have the mandate of Syria, and Syria is due for some very, very dark, scary times now. So I don't know why you're celebrating if you're doing this out of humanitarian.
I'm celebrating because it's a lesser of two evils, and you have to be pragmatic about it. I know you're lesser of the evil.
How is it a lesser of two evils when there's?
If you stop muting me while I'm.
Oh, yeah, because you're not answering. Because we need to know what we're talking about here. How is it a lesser of two evils when there's massive civil war and I can't say it on TikTok, bloodshed and massacres and invasions and just state and no.
I want to let you know.
No basic stability at all and nothing actually. No infrastructure.
Democracy. Right? Democracy. You hate that word. I know you do. You hate democracy.
But how is Syria a democracy when it's
It was
being
never.
run by-
That's my point. Assad was not a democracy. You're getting mad out of the stuff that
You're
arises
going to
from the
have to
fact.
listen carefully to what I'm trying to say and not unmute yourself and listen. You're saying this is the lesser of two evils. This that Syria is going to have now is not going to be democracy. It's going to be chaos and civil war. I don't know how that's better than the stability Assad
What are
offers.
you going off of on that? What are you going off on chaos and civil war for? What makes you say that?
Because
I'm asking that.
HTS doesn't have a mandate among the religious minorities.
HTS.
Hold on.
HTS.
You see how he interrupted me? The religious minorities, who I agree are not the majority. But then you have the ethnic differences. both the Assyrians and most importantly the Kurds do not want the rule of HTS. And it's a lot of those minorities that were
Not
decisive
going to be the
in
rule of
propping up.
HTS. They agreed for peaceful unity.
Who agreed?
You don't know what's going to happen yet, and you're jumping to conclusions because your
agreed?
pro-Russian dictator got overthrown.
Who agreed with peaceful unity?
HTS. Why do you think they've been fighting together?
HTS.
You don't trust them, right?
No, even CNN said they don't trust them because the guy is wanted internationally with a $10 million bounty because he's literally an Al-Qaeda operative who was allied with ISIS. You understand? So these are the people you're talking about. This isn't something separate from ISIS. It's the same people, but they rebranded. And you're saying you trust them. You are out.
I'm not saying I trust them, but there's more than just HTS in this involved.
How is this the lesser? How is ISIS the lesser of two evils?
Because Assad was a brutal dictator in one of the most corrupt
That's fine.
countries
Okay,
that
he's a
oppressed his
brutal
people.
dictator. But this is Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Are they brutal?
I don't agree with I don't agree with
Are they
HTS or what they
brutal?
stand for.
Are
But
they
look, they're
brutal?
fighting the same enemy, and they are allied. They're currently allied with what? Turkey and
I
the
want
Free
to ask you a
Syrian
simple
Army?
question. A simple question. Why is Assad worse than ISIS and Al-Qaeda in your own words? Just simply answer that question. How is he worse than them? Based on the atrocities that they've committed. In this push alone in the past few days, what they've been doing to the Christians and the Shia, what they've been doing.
Well,
Forget
first
the
of all, I
whole
want to say
war.
that I don't agree. I don't believe any of the.
I didn't ask you, okay, Aiden. I didn't ask you if you agreed. I asked you how that is better than Assad.
I don't agree with any of the people or
I did not ask if you agreed. I asked, why is Assad worse than that? Answer the question.
Cannot mute the guy you're debating with every time that you can't let me finish my point.
You're
Okay,
wasting my time.
you're arguing that they're evil people. They're very evil. Okay, and then I see people saying, I don't even know if I can say.
Why is Assad worse? Answer the question. Why are you avoiding that question? Why is Assad worse?
Assad helped people like HTS get in power. As you said, he was too weak. Well, my argument.
Even if that's true, I'm asking you why Assad is worse, or why the stability he offered was worse.
He didn't offer stability. That's the point. He was too weak because he led a brutal dictatorship. If Syria
So you agree with me? He was too weak and he should have been more authoritarian. I agree.
No, I'm saying in the opposite direction. You don't have stability in an authoritarian country like that unless you want people to live like it's North Korea. Right?
Yeah.
North Korea, is that your model society? North Korea? That's how you want people to live?
Yeah.
And you're saying that as an American, you'd rather you think North Korea is the model dystopia that we should strive towards as an American. As an American exercising his freedom of speech that you wouldn't have in North Korea right now as we're speaking, we wouldn't be allowed to do this in North Korea. You're telling me that is what you think is that's correct model society? You're wrong. You're flat out wrong on your fundamentals.
Why am I wrong?
Because I mean, first of all, I don't know if you probably don't know much about North Korea, I assume, or do you just look at the
I'm
propaganda?
literally going there next year, so I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
great. Maybe you can tell me on your state guided tours. Maybe you can tell me how good North Korea looks on the inside as you're from Michigan. Democracy. If Assad went in the opposite direction of a totalitarian dictatorship and used democracy, you wouldn't have these insurgents like ISIS or HTS in the country, right? Free Syria was not. You're an American. You don't even. I assume you're not like a founding father, but like you don't even understand like the American Revolution of why they overthrew the British over a tea tax.
What's democracy? Can you define that and explain it?
Well, it's not your dictatorship of the proletariat. I'm gonna tell you that.
So what is it? Explain it. Tell me what democracy means.
Control by the people, which did not exist in Syria. The people in Syria
wanted
to control their own country. Right?
What is an example of a democracy?
Well, it's on a spectrum, right? You would have direct democracy.
You see, when I asked a simple question, he couldn't answer it because he knows it's a made up.
Yes or no.
He knows it's a made up fairy tale that's not even real. You see, when I asked him a simple question, he can't just answer it. He can't even give me one
Black or
example.
white. It's a spectrum, just like your ideology.
When people say it's a spectrum, they're just lying and gibbering because they can't answer a straightforward question. I asked him what a democracy.
Are you not more authoritarian?
Because you're saying that Syria should have had a democracy. What you're effectively saying is that Syria should have had something that no country in the world has, and that doesn't exist. So I don't know what you're trying to say. The idea that Syria is somehow going to democratize when there are these armed militants and militias being
The armed militants came about because of Assad and his father. Do you not understand that it was 50?
No, they came about because they got foreign funding by the Gulf states in the tune of hundreds of millions. So, you don't know what you're talking about. Had they not gotten that
I
funding,
don't know what I'm talking. Did these?
anyone who arms such an opposition with weapons and floods the country with that kind of stuff can topple a state.
Oh, really? Wait, so isn't that what
It's
Russia?
not Syria's fault that it's like
But
not
when Russia does it in
powerful
Ukraine,
as
that's
America.
good, right? When Russia does it in the Donbass, that's good,
I
right?
was in Donbass and I firsthand witnessed exactly where they got the arms from, and they were arms storage facilities that were left behind by the Ukrainian army that left.
So you're saying that Russia didn't supply the?
Russia did not flood Donbass with arms. They actually
That
didn't.
is absolutely false.
I thought the same thing you thought
lie. That is
before I went there myself. I thought the same thing you thought, and then I found out sawing with my own eyes how it happened. They took me the arms depots that were from the Ukrainian military and the weapons and the equipment. They raided those and just took those. Russia didn't flood them with anything. So no.
You're telling me Russia didn't what? So 2022 is when they started. That's when they started doing.
I can't tell you if Russia was giving them stuff after 2017 or 2018. I don't know. I didn't ask. But I know that in the beginning in 2014, 2015, Russia wasn't giving them arms. So Russia was not the reason there was secession by the Donbass republics. It's not like Syria where they had to get the funding.
Russia. You're saying Russia had nothing to do with that entire breakaway state right on the Russian border, right in the the Russian ethnic.
It wasn't.
It's not nothing to do with Russia.
It wasn't primarily motivated by Russian state actors. No, it wasn't.
That is just cope. I don't know what to tell you. You're living in a
I'm
fantasy
sorry.
land. But anyways,
Wait,
still,
hold on. I'm living in a fantasy land, but I actually went there, and you have never even been to that side of the world.
Anecdotal. It doesn't.
Right, but you're talking to a guy who's been there, and you're saying it's a fantasy land.
You're not, dude. You're a random guy off the street. You're not an intelligence officer. Okay,
I don't need to be an intelligence officer to know the overwhelming sentiments of the people that live there.
Overwhelming sentiments. Oh, I wonder.
Decidedly in favor of having seceded from the post-Maidan Ukrainian state.
I don't want to digress from the main topic, but I picked out Russia because you said, "Oh, it was bad when they were funding these."
Right,
Because I'm not going to die.
Russia did not do
Qatar, Turkey, we're definitely funding these, militants.
And the Gulf was in the beginning as well.
I said Qatar, but
I'm talking about the Emirates and Saudi Arabia. In the beginning, they did.
But when Russia does it, that's a good thing.
Well,
right?
Russia didn't do that. Russia did not do that.
Doing it currently. What do you think? The Donbass just stopped. The militants stopped existing in the Donbass. They've been.
Russia didn't flood it. They launched the SMO to help Donbass, sure, but Donbass was fighting by itself for a long time.
Right, but I mean.
Bro, Aiden, all I have to do to nuke you is just tell you about a country called Egypt, where there is way more discontent with the government, way more of a popular mandate for the Muslim Brotherhood.
Your original argument was that
the military launched a coup and just took power. And how come there was no rebellion in Egypt? Where's Egypt's democracy? How come we don't see these militants of Al-Qaeda taking and overrunning Egypt like they are in Syria? Egypt isn't a democracy. Egypt's even worse. Egypt had a leader that took power, Mohammed Morsi, who was elected by the people of Egypt, and the military just got rid of him, and the Egyptian people just rolled over and took it. You're telling me that in Syria it was because of democracy in the popular will, they didn't have the institutions of democracy? Why didn't it happen in Egypt? Why doesn't it happen in Jordan? Why doesn't it happen in Saudi Arabia? Why doesn't it happen in all these other dictatorships in the Middle East aligned with the U.S.? I'll tell you why. Because the decisive thing in Syria is that it was in Israel's interest to topple Assad. That's why it was flooded with weapons, because Syria is against the U.S. hegemony. So stop gibbering.
Well, I mean,
using
okay,
reasoning that collapses.
this is a lot of double
immediately.
standards here. You're justifying, okay, well, when their side does it, it's bad, but when our side is doing, because Assad,
When has my side done what I'm talking about?
Assad actively funded Hezbollah. Assad was doing the exact same thing to Israel, funding militants.
So the Lebanese resistance predated. First of all, it's kind of dumb to even say that, because in the first place, Syria, which is a direct border on Lebanon, was in wars fighting Israel. So of course, Syria is going to help people in Lebanon resist its regional opponent, Israel. That's not the same thing as regime change.
Wait.
That has nothing to do with the organic conditions of your own people and sentiments of your people, but rather you're just dumping money on people, on terrorists, Al-Qaeda, who are crazy people and have always, the people that were being funded were always having the intentions they had. They didn't come from Syria. They came from all around the world. They came from Xinjiang. They came from Chechnya. They came from everywhere.
Muting me and yelling louder doesn't make you
They
any
were the
more
same extremists who always wanted to
more
get
right.
things popping off. And these guys bankrolled them and gave them weapons and arms to basically overrun a country and override any kind of process of like engaging with the people there and what they want or whatever. So you're talking nonsense. If this was about democracy, we wouldn't be talking about Syria. We'd be talking about Egypt and Jordan and all these other dictatorships. So you're just trying to do a whataboutism about Russia and Donbass and Syria with the yellow people because you're trying to avoid this decisive point. Democracy has nothing to do with anything that's happened in Syria. Nothing.
That's absolutely false, because what you're talking about in the first place is that he was a weak leader, right? And you're saying he should have gone harder. If he went harder, I don't know what metrics you're using for that or what he should have done different. Like, what do you think he should have done to like oppress his people harder to prevent this? What do you think he should have?
I think he should have oppressed the bourgeoisie and gave the common people
He
land.
is he's literally the political elite.
Okay. So you cut me off, and I need
Yes.
to answer the question you just asked. So he should have repressed the landowners and the bourgeoisie, redistributed their land to the people to give them a stake in state power, and ruthlessly crushed any of these mercantile bourgeois that have always been the source of the Syrian opposition, even predating Hafiz al-Assad. And that problem was never dealt with. That's how Assad could have become a popular leader and a stable leader. Now you're saying that Syria and the Syrian state would have been stronger if it was a democracy, but you're unable to define what democracy is, and I also doubt you're able to define it concretely. Like, what concrete steps could have possibly been taken to create this fantasy democracy you're talking about that is fundamentally divorced from how people feed themselves
the
actually
issue,
survive economically?
as you said before, right? Russia helped to prop up this state. I don't think Russia would have wanted someone leading it that would take those steps. It wouldn't happen. That's not the side. That's not the proxy war, right?
You're
That's not the
actually
settings for the proxy war.
completely wrong. You're totally wrong.
I'm wrong, right?
The
Well, I
Ba'ath
mean,
was,
again, what happened in
okay,
Ukraine?
I have to explain to you history. The Ba'ath was in part propped up by the Soviet Union, and Salah Jadid was taking steps to do what I'm talking about. But when Hafiz al-Assad, who is Bashar's dad, did a coup against Salah Jadid, the Soviet Union actually protested it, and that the Syrians actually sent a guy to China to tell the Soviets, hey, back off or we're going to join your enemy, China, because you're interfering in our business too much. But the Syrian Communist Party and the pro-Russian forces within Syria were deeply upset by that coup. And they were deeply upset by the reversal of what Salah Jadid was trying to do in Syria. So you're completely wrong that Russia would... And also, Russia doesn't care about the policies implemented by Syria. Russia had a military...
Russia absolutely does care. It's absolutely in their
don't.
interests. They have the military fighting there. They absolutely do care. Also, you're talking about something that happened in the Cold War during the
Why-
Sino-Soviet split.
Why does Russia care about Syria?
Information. The Sino-Soviet split is irrelevant.
Why does Russia care about Syria? Can you answer that?
Yes, I can. They have an interest in the region because it helps them to oppose the interests of the United States in the
Be
region.
more specific and concrete. Why Syria specifically? What about Syria does Russia care about?
Because it gives them a launching point in Syria to put their military so they can help to destabilize.
So that's the end of that guest. And the reason I kicked him at that specific point is I always like these tests to gauge the level of knowledge of my guests. And I think very simple things you should know should be, should be tested as a condition of being able to talk to me and waste my time. If you don't know that Russia is in Syria because they had a military base there, their only military base in the region, and they went there to defend that military base, you're not qualified to speak with me. And you're just wasting my time. I don't know how I could possibly continue a conversation with someone who has so little knowledge of the region and its history and, why Russia's there and all these other things. I didn't let him talk. Yes, I did. I gave him multiple chances, as you can see, for him to answer, why does Russia care about Syria? And he kept gibbering, and I said specifically, concretely, why? Again, he kept gibbering, okay? I really gave him a lot of chances. I threw him a lot of bones. He couldn't just tell me because Russia already had a military base there that they went to defend. And they did not want that military base to fall. And that was literally the reason and also Putin's direct justification. So he wouldn't answer the question because the argument he was making, if you're not following the argument, is that he was trying to say that Russia would never have allowed any Syrian leader to implement the reforms I'm talking about to have a reliable base in the population. And I said, Russia doesn't actually care about that. He said, yes, they care. And I said, I asked why. He goes, because they want their military there. What is incompatible about land reform and Russia having its military? Well, they want. He didn't even name anything. He wouldn't say anything, right? So yeah. Anyway, this guy Durg. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I have a quick question about dialectics. I don't know if you're talking about that shit right now.
Be very quick.
Oh, can you explain the universality of contradiction? Like how this would apply to like physics or biology, shit like that.
I think the best place, I'll just be really quick. Best place to start with dialectics is not necessarily the assertion of a positive contradiction, but more an acceptance of the inadequacy of formalism, of subjecting our understanding of the natural world and of reality in general to the identity of self-same terms. Once we understand that striving for pure consistency and pure formal consistency at that is impossible, then we can have a better ground of what precisely the content of dialectics is. But it begins with the negation, so to speak. It begins with a negation of formalism and not necessarily idealism, but formalism and the mechanical outlook of reality in general, which regards it as static and fundamentally not interconnected and separated, and also formally consistent. So that is my answer, which is a very quick answer. Let's continue to the topic. User, go ahead.
Can I answer about the...
Bro, what is going on? Hello! Dude is in the bathroom and just literally just threw his phone in the toilet and flushed. Never looked back. Go ahead, whatever your name is.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll get to my question in a sec, but I just want to say, it's been funny. I've been following this for, off and on for quite a bit. And I'm seeing the same people who were looking at the Iraq war, and you ask them if they support, the U.S. intervention there. They say no. And then now they're uneducated about this. And then now they're supporting intervention here. It just doesn't make sense. And, I want to ask you, well, what are your thoughts on, when the Assad regime is collapsing? What do you think is going to happen? The next move for the only winner of this.
I'm sorry, I'm not a fortune teller. This is crazy. You're asking, we're trying to find debates, and I don't have a crystal ball. I think it's going to be civil war and strife. I think Israel is already invading, and I think we could potentially see a lot of interesting things happen. But none of these things will be good things in the short run, at least. And a lot of too many questions and too little debating and pushback. Because I know y'all haters are in here. You got problems with me. So if you got problems with me, I could talk like RFK Jr. and basically say that if you have a problem with me, you should basically come up and speak your mind and basically say what's wrong with what my position is on Syria and how it is that al-Qaeda is better than Assad when it comes to what they offer Syria. And I'm going to do the RFK voice because apparently people need a different perspective because they're saying that my ego can't handle debating. And, now people are doing stupid things when it comes to these filters. So I'm going to be RFK Jr. basically say that people need to come up and basically stand on some business, 70 kilometers from Damascus. Wow. Gifts boost you in the algorithm. I don't care. I don't want these dumb, stupid hats. I have hats. If I wanted a hat, I'd wear one. I'm not going to sell my soul for these nonsense filters. So I will not be thanking you for these ridiculous things you're bombarding me with, and I don't want them, and I don't know how to get rid of them. And I never signed up for that. I never signed up for any of that. In any case, look, we need to get people on here debating. User, the guy who's in the toilet. Did you escape?
Bro, I can join. Bro, I just want to say something. I think what's happening now in Syria, it's a part of Israel plan.
No way! No way! That changed my world. But we're looking for debaters. We're looking for debaters. And I'm an asshole. I'm not a nice guy because I'm not in a good mood. So if you come up here trying to be nice, trying to be friendly, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get your feelings hurt. You're going to get your heart broken. And I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not in a good mood. And I'm an asshole. User, this other user. Yo, go ahead. Different user.
You're not in a good mood, huh?
Damn, what the hell is this, bro? What the hell is
Fuck
this,
you.
bro? Can you take 3 steps back from your phone? Can you take some steps back from your phone?
Why?
I told him. Take 3 steps back from your phone. 3 steps back from your phone. I told him. And, that's that. That's the end of that. Arabi. Syria's being liberated. No, it's not. Syria's down for the worst chapter of its history. Go ahead, Arabi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Brother, I'm not sure. I've just come across your live just now. I'm not sure which side you're on, but I've just got a few things to say and then I'll just go.
What side are you on?
To be fair, I'm with the people.
What does that mean?
I'm with the people that want their own freedom.
What does that mean?
So basically, if a minority controls the majority, that cannot go. Syria, the Middle East, as you probably know, majority are Sunnis.
Okay.
So when small minorities, and we have lived with Shias for decades and centuries, but where the misunderstanding is, where they control us, they don't let us.
All right, Arabi, I'm going to cut you off right there and just ask you a question. What's the religion of the Kurds?
The Kurds, they can be Sunnis, Shias,
What's the
Christians.
majority of the Kurds?
To my understanding, I think the Sunni.
Okay. You're right, they are. Okay, what's the majority religion of the Turks?
To my understanding, again, I think it's Sunni.
And what's the majority religion of the Arab?
Sunnis.
And do you still notice how they fight each other?
That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't mean the majority
So
of the
when you say, hold on, but when you say the people, you're not talking about all those people being united together. For now, Turkey's backing some Sunni Arab in Syria, but they're also fighting the Kurds. So what people? What unity?
Okay.
I'm saying
okay.
the Sunnis are the majority, I agree. But that's not the end of it. And that's the problem. And you know, they tried to unite Egypt with Syria under Nasser. And why couldn't they do it? Because the Egyptians and the Syrians couldn't get along because they're too different.
Okay.
So anyone who thinks there's going to be a majority rule by their sect, Sunni or Shia, is wrong. That's not enough to overcome political divisions in the people.
But hold on. But to my understanding, Turkey, Kurds, and the Arabs, they've got political points they want. Each one wants to control another. You see, if they left the politics to one side and they focused on one ummah, regardless of who you are and what you are.
It will never ever happen.
But as people, if you ask a normal
Because
person,
it's always going to be what ummah? The Arab ummah, the Turkish ummah, or the Kurdish ummah?
No, the Muslim ummah.
You know who tried that? Is Mises. And it was a disaster.
Who tried that? Say that again.
I can't say on TikTok, but let me tell you something. Look. Here's the thing. I asked you whose side you're on. You said the people. Well, is it the Kurds or is it HTS?
Okay, let me. I live in England, and I've come across majority of nationalities: the Kurds, the Turks, the Arabs, the normal people. I'm with the normal people that don't look at you and think, "Oh, you're Kurd. Oh no, you're Muslim."
But that's not the majority. The majority do look at you and say you're a Kurd or you're a Turk or you're Arab. You know who feels that is the Arab that are in Turkey right now, and the Turks who don't want the Arab in Turkey. Which is why Erdogan is doing this, by the way, because he wants to kick them all out because they're causing problems for his governance within Turkey.
I know it's understandable, but you can't say the mainstream media will always say that, but the people, the actual people, the people that will come on TV, anyone would say. But when you actually question people who are on their deen,
they're just being polite. It's not how they actually feel.
It's not really, but because being a Muslim, you have to accept the other person as your brother.
Listen, Arabi, you're polite. I'll be a little bit polite. I'll cut you a little slack. Look, the lesson of the 21st century and the 20th century is this whole ideology of its ummah is that there's nothing without a sovereign state. And a state is a machine. It's a machine. It's an infrastructure. However bad, however corrupt, however maybe it's too favoritism to some minorities, you're making that allegation. Majority of the Syrian state was Sunni, by the way.
No.
It's not true.
Okay, we'll come to Syria. So
but if you don't have sovereignty, you're just going to get foreigners come and exploit you in the name of religion.
Okay, 1 second. You said the Syrians majority Sunnis. So when the army was formed after the French,
the army is in the beginning the officers were mainly Alawites. I agree, but after Hafez, he saturated most of them as Sunnis. So It's not really true. And you're saying this is a Sunni or Shia thing. Well, let me tell you the problem with that. First, the Kurds are Sunni, and they're not. That's not the Kurds are not on the side of the so-called representatives of the Sunni that you're talking about. The second thing is what I find baffling. The only reason the yellow people in Lebanon were defending Assad is because they're trying to resist Israel. And who does Israel oppress? The Sunnis in Palestine. Why did the people in Lebanon stand up for them? They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to stand up for their Sunni brothers, but they did. So you're saying minority majority. It's not about minority majority. Okay? These divisions were not being created.
Can I speak?
By the Syrian government. Assad, you could say, okay, he's a Alawite, but they were trying their best. They were trying their best, and
no, but the truth,
the sectarianism
no, the
is not
is,
coming. The sectarianism is coming from one side. All right.
No, but what you gotta understand is the Syrian army after the French went out was made of majority Alawites. They weren't Sunnis.
So what? But who cares? They were Syrians.
Like not right
but
now.
But Arabi, what you're missing is this. Yes, they were Alawites, but they were Syrians. You're missing the point. Before them, Syria was a colony of Europe.
What Syrians? Hold on.
Syria
what Syrians
was
would give
a
up the
colony
Golan?
of Europe.
They gave.
Who cares
They
what their
gave the
religion
Golan
was?
for free. They protect the Israelis from the Golan. In the last 40 years, did Syria attack Israel? Did they do anything? You said Shias help Palestinians. Do they really?
Yeah,
while they're killing Sunnis in Yemen?
You can say what you want.
Sunnis in Yemen.
This time around, yes, they did fight for Palestine. Absolutely, they did, and they sacrificed a lot for it.
Okay, so while they're killing Sunnis in Iraq and in Yemen.
The reason that they're getting involved in Iraq and in Syria is because it's a logistics network for the, I can't say on TikTok, the Klepins to reach them. Without those, they can't fight Israel. So why should they trust these NATO-backed rebels who are being funded by Israel to destroy Syria's state and destroy the resistance network?
What state that doesn't protect itself from the attacks of the Israelis?
Look, you're saying Syria. You're saying Syria wasn't aggressive enough toward Israel.
Syria wasn't aggressive at all. Not aggressive enough.
Look, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but you need to understand that doesn't mean the entire state should be toppled and destroyed. That doesn't mean the whole thing should be destroyed. And that's what's happening now. And it's NATO and its foreigners who are doing it to destroy Syria. If you think that, Bashar wasn't doing the best job, things should have changed, that could happen in a way that doesn't need the money of the Gulf and the destruction of the Syrian state. And that's the problem, That's the problem. I mean, people in Syria were manipulated and exploited to do something that's just going to destroy the country. And Syria's done now. It's not just Bashar who's done. Syria is done. It's finished.
Yeah, but Syria was done.
It's going to be worse than
2011.
Libya. What?
It's not going to be. It's not going to be worse.
Brother,
than
you
Syria
think,
has been bad
you
since
think there's not
2011.
going to be more fighting and warlords and factions now?
What, in Syria?
Yeah.
It's not going to be as much as it was before the Free Army came in.
Oh,
Do you know how many people?
Before there was peace and stability for the first time.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because it's not your side who was getting killed, or the Shia side who was getting killed. It's okay. Everything is fine. But when the other
It's
side
not
is
about
winning now, when the
Shia
Sunnis
or
are taking over,
you're talking
all
about
of a sudden,
you're talking about
all of a
Idlib.
sudden now you're thinking, oh, it's going to be wars. I'm talking about
There was
everything.
stability.
Idlib, Hamas,
Listen,
Homs,
before this, Syria had stability and it had sovereignty. Now it has none of those things.
In where? It's Probably in the Sahel, probably on the coast side where the Alawids
No,
are.
all of Syria besides the one
Come
that's
on, my
occupied
friend,
by
didn't you
Turkey.
watch? Don't you watch the news and don't you see how many people are dying every day? 16 million refugees went out of Syria. Why?
Yeah, that was
Because they wanted to go
during.
on
Right,
holiday.
you're right. That was during the civil
More than
war.
1
That
million
was
people died. My
yeah,
friend, the
because
civil
of
war doesn't stop.
because of the that was the civil war that was caused by Israel and America and its allies.
So what? The Iranians are
Arabi,
angels in you.
Arabi. Why is there no civil war in Egypt? Why did none of this happen in Egypt or Jordan?
Because there's a Sunni army holding that. There's a Sunni army holding Egypt, in
You think
Jordan.
in
Wherever there's
Jordan,
a
the
Sunni
majority
army,
of people in
hold on,
Jordan are
is Sunni.
Palestinian. They're not even Jordanian.
Yeah.
So the
But
minority
Eshwan,
can rule the majority in Jordan, but not in
it
Syria because
doesn't. But what are
religion.
they though? What are they though? What's the majority of the Palestinians in
Arabi, if
Jordan?
people were united by religion, why do the Sunni Kurds fight the HTS Syrian rebels? How come the Sunni Kurds don't want anything to do with it? Because it's not about Sunni or Shia or Christian or any of this others. This is just covers and disguises they use to divide people. What it's really about is the West versus resistance. And it's as simple as that. The West, who wants to dominate and colonize and control everyone, and the resistance, who wants to build sovereignty and independence. Simple. Colonizers versus the colonized. Mustafa, go ahead. I don't know what happened. Go ahead, Mustafa.
Yo, I just wanted to say, this is fucking crazy. I never thought this would happen. I thought this shit was over. To be honest, like a few years ago, I thought this shit was over, but
Hey, bro, I'm an asshole. I'm not in a good mood. You're gonna get your heart broken if you talk to me tonight. Mookie, go ahead.
So good. Wait.
Wait,
You
all
guys
right,
do it.
you
Lena,
do
Lena,
it.
you do it. You do it. Lena, you do
Yo,
it.
shut up! One at a time.
Oh my bad. Sorry. Wait, can you hear me? Yo, can you hear me?
Go upstairs by yourself. No one else.
What did I do, bro?
You got a whole circus. You got a whole audience in addition to my audience. Go upstairs, lock yourself in the bathroom by yourself. Then you can talk to me.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I'm in my room. Like
15,
nobody's home.
14, 13,
I mean,
12.
I agreed with what you said about like West versus resistance. You know, but I would like to say some people have the right to the.
I hear people whispering. See, I told you to go lock yourself by yourself, and you're with this whole, this whole entourage, and I don't appreciate that at all. And I said one at a time. I'm not here to talk to 12 different people. And yeah, we're not gonna go down that path. Feroz, go ahead.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what up?
Not much. So what, you pro Bashar or you pro rebels?
I'm
Like you pro free Syria or what?
Hell no!
Why not? Why don't you want to free Syria?
What's free about Syria right now?
I mean, it's freer than when Bashar was president. I mean, when's the last time you've been to Syria?
2 days ago.
Stop the cap. No, for real. Like people over there were living like shit these past few years.
All right, now it's
been
gonna be
disgusting.
worse.
That's the
Now
only
it's gonna be
reason that
worse.
it got toppled.
And now it's gonna be worse. Are you happy?
The what?
And now it's gonna be worse.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
what it's
you
gonna
know
be.
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
it's better than what it was.
And yeah, just
It's
like
better
Libya,
than-
right?
it's gonna be
Let me ask
better
you a
than what it
question.
was, 'cause-
Simple question: is Libya better now than under Gaddafi? What's better, Libya under Gaddafi or Libya now? Let me ask you that question. Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Mute me.
What's better, Libya under Gaddafi or Libya right now?
I don't know nothing about Libya. I'm
Yeah,
Syrian.
yeah,
That's the
there
only
you go,
reason.
bro.
The only reason.
That's your problem. You're Syrian, but you ain't never studied Libya. And maybe if y'all FSA fools open a history book and study Libya, y'all would not be so keen on collapsing and toppling the sovereignty of the Syrian state because you had grievances with the way things were. And not all those grievances, the economic ones, not all of those were misplaced. But you don't do that by selling out your country to Erdogan and NATO in the West and toppling and destroying everything and having a sectarian civil war where everybody's going to destroy each other and it's going to be a huge nightmare. Anyway, Betty. Anyway. Yeah, I don't like this. I'm already hearing some other dude in the background, and I'm just not. I don't have the patience for it. Get money, gang.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, man? Who are you supporting?
North Korea.
What? No, I'm saying the Syria war, bro. Who are you supporting? Assad or the rebels?
Assad's done, so I don't know what to tell you. If somebody's gonna still hold out for the red flag, not the green flag, the red flag.
Oh, you're a communist.
Yeah, but also the Syrian red flag, not that stupid French colonial green one.
I feel you, bro. Where are you from originally? You from Syria?
Yeah, bro. I'm not here for New York Times interviews. All right, I'm here for debates. So I don't know what the hell this is. Go ahead.
Hi, brother.
Yo, what up?
I just heard the stupidest reports about Israel being worried about HTS.
All right, cool, bro. Go back to hopping with kangaroos because I'm an asshole and you're gonna get your heart broken. You're gonna get your feelings hurt. You talk to me tonight. So Rhoda is saying free Syria with the green hearts. Come up and tell us how Syria is free. What's so free about this new Libya-style Syria? Hussein, go ahead. You better not be a friend of mine, because if you are, you're gonna get your feelings hurt.
What's up, buddy?
I didn't right off the bat, this dude, and I save him getting roasted by removing him. Mog, go ahead.
Assalamu
Alaikum assalam. Who's this?
It's Hussein.
What you want?
I just want to talk about these hypocrites talking about how
This ain't a vent space. We're not here to vent. And talking about what is this Peter Griffin talking about? You don't really grind my gears. We're not here for that. We're not here to just vent about shit that's getting off our chest. I'm here for debates. You come up and you debate me. You have a problem with what I'm saying, you come up and debate me. Syria is up for a dark, dark, horrible future. Anyone celebrating it is a fool. And that's the truth. And I ain't here. So Rhoda, so I don't understand about Rhoda. Rhoda's using bad language, but Rhoda is the holy Muslim and is the most highest and they're using that filthy language, which is haram. Astaghfirullah is haram. With that language. The holy Rhoda, with the Free Syrian Mysis army talking about, oh, we're gonna have Sharia law and the true Islam. But then you're out here sinning right off the bat. Hypocrites. Straight up. The holy Rhoda, the hypocrite. Straight up hypocrite. That's all these people are hypocrites. They're all bribed. It's all about money. Ain't got nothing to do with religion. It's always been about money. Always the Free Syrian Army. Mises. Just like Libya is free. Isn't Libya such a free country? Isn't Libya such a free country? Come up to my kebab stand and try to step on my shit. I mentioned the one word Libya and everybody shuts their mouth because nobody can rebut anything I'm saying. That this is not a good thing that's happened to Syria. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Very bad thing. Where am I from? Tartaria. I'm Tartarian. If you don't know what Tartaria is, educate yourself. I'm Tartarian. Yeah. You explain what happened to Libya. So Gaddafi was the boss of Libya. He brought prosperity, wealth, and stability and peace to the Libyan people. It was the most developed country in all of Africa. And then, and the protesters came. It all got messed up. It all got screwed up. And Al-Qaeda took over, and Libya's done. It's done. So that's the same thing that's going to happen to Syria. Congratulations, you FSA supporting diaspora fools. You played yourself. Down with Bashar and Russian imperialism. Hell yeah! Because there ain't no such thing as Russian imperialism. Russia gave everybody in the third world their freedom. They gave them training. They gave them equipment. They gave them free education. They gave them specialists, everything. And you're talking about how you criticize Israel and the West. You're a coward. You don't criticize the West or Israel. If you did, you would know the number one power that has challenged the West, which is Russia in history. And that's a fact. And everybody in the post-colonial world would be living in the Stone Age without the USSR, and that's a fact. And that's a fact. And you colonizer puppets who don't like what I'm telling you, flying the French colonial Free Syrian flag when Syria was a slave of France, speaks for itself. It speaks for itself. Keep crying and go cry with Zelensky. Keep crying with Zelensky. Keep crying, go cry with Zelensky. Go wipe your tears with Zelensky's Coca-Cola. Zelensky is your fate.
I am Zelensky, and I just want freedom. I am Zelensky. I just want the freedom for Ukraine. I mean, yes, we worship Stepan Bandera, who was a Yahtzee collaborator. And yes, you know, I mean, the Azov Battalion, they have reformed, just like HTS has reformed.
Assalamu alaikum, we are from the HTS. Oh no, we are not Al-Qaeda. We're not Mises. No, we have changed. We love the democracy and the institutions. And we're going to build the institutions. And wallah, I swear, we're not the Al-Qaeda, we're not the Mises. Wallah, that's a past that's all behind us. Wallah, that was just me yesterday. That was like my teenage gothic phase. Wallah, that was when I was emo. We have become the institutions. We're going to build the institutions. Wallah, we're here to build the democracy and the institutions. You know, we're Wallah, we're not Al-Qaeda anymore. I swear, we rebranded. We rebranded. Free Syria. Free Syria with Osama bin Laden. Free Syria. We rebranded. This is September 19th. It was not us. We rebranded. Because we're going to build the institutions. The institutions. I swear it was because the institutions. Y'all see that interview? That dude capping, that Arab Zelensky. They interviewed him. They go, why should we trust you? Y'all were working with ISIS and y'all were up to some bad, no good. He goes, but we're going to have the institutions now. But we are going, it's now the institutions. He kept saying institutions because dumb Western liberals eat that slop up. Pathetic. Free Syria! Okay, go back then and live in this paradise of free Syria. Stop lobbying my country. I'm an American. And you're hijacking my country for your Al-Qaeda agenda in Syria. You want free Syria? Go back to free Syria. Stop using my taxes to fund your shenanigans. Tether business. Tethers, straight up tethers. They come to America trying to take my taxes so they can fund their Al-Qaeda shenanigans in Syria. It's pathetic. I'm American. As an American, we don't want anything to do with these free Syrian nonsense using my tax dollars. We don't want anything to do with that. Okay, Syria's free. Now please go back now. It's free now. Syria's free, so go back. Go. Yalla, go. It's free now. You know where to go. Back home. What's the problem? It's free, just like you wanted. Use my tax dollars for it too, right? So what are you waiting for? What you waiting for? You got what you wanted. Stop sitting in my country on my TikTok bothering me because you got what you wanted now, right? Am I wrong? You got what you kept saying free Syria for 10 years. Okay, it's free now, so go back. If you have so much faith in Syria's future that you've been lobbying and using my tax dollars to create, go live there. It's what you've been wanting the whole time. You use my tax dollars. So go back and live there in your free country. It's free now. The bad guy Assad is gone. Now you're free. So go back. Go back. Get out of my country. Now Israel's invading, by the way. I hope you're happy. Cry. Why am I crying? See, it's so funny they say I'm crying. I'm not Syrian. I don't live in Syria. I'm not going to have to deal with the repercussions of what happens over there. I'm chilling, dude. I live in Michigan. I will be fine. I will be completely fine. Y'all have destroyed your own country and you're saying I'm crying. Why would I cry as a U.S. citizen? That's pathetic. You think I'm the one who's going to be crying? You know how much suffering and hardship the people of Syria are going to go through now? I feel bad for them. I feel sad for them. I literally, and I'm not even just saying that to gloat, I actually feel bad for them. But what can I say? This dude's acting like I'm crying. Pathetic. Why would I cry? But I'm saying that. Like, okay, Syria's free, just like you said. So why are you still here? Like, go live in your free country now. It's what you wanted, right? Can anyone respond to that, by the way? Like, if you've been trying to use my taxes to free your Syria, and now you've gotten what you wanted, clearly you're very hopeful in Syria's future, and it's totally not going to be a dangerous bleep hole, right? So go live there. Do us a favor. Your paradise that you wanted. Will. Go ahead, Will.
Well, am I on? Yeah, you suck, man. Yeah, you suck. So, what is all this about Syria that you're saying? People are saying that it's the Zionists who have invaded Syria. What's going on? I haven't been paying attention.
I'm sorry, your polyamorous accent is so heavy that it's hard to
Yeah, I
understand.
don't have a polyamorous accent. Sorry, I'm from California. We're better than Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, if you could just kind of assimilate to the English language a little better, because you have a polyamorous accent, big time.
What do you know about that?
But it's hard to understand.
Seems like you're projecting a little bit.
No, I genuinely can't understand.
So, like, you don't like the tax dollars that go to Syria. Do you like the tax dollars that go to Israel?
No, I don't.
Well, why aren't you talking about that?
I am. Who do you think is benefiting from this? Jesus Christ, you don't even know anything. See, Syria was a crucial part of the resistance network that was getting weapons to the yellow people in Lebanon. Now that's done, and Israel's gonna take over everyone. Are you happy? How do you think the resistance was getting arms? Look at a map of the region. They took out the most crucial country. And it's a shame. But these guys who wanted to free Syria, they just love Israel so much. I don't know what to say. Anyway. Well, you're just an uneducated fool. He comes up asking me, well, why don't you he goes, you like our taxes going to Israel? It's like what can I say? He thinks HTS is like the biggest threat to Israel. I don't know. Complete lack of education. Okay. Ha ha ha. Tell a joke.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, at first you weren't talking about that. So, like, I don't know. I feel like something's attacking you right now that's a little bit deeper. I don't know, but like, fuck them. Be
Yeah,
happy
bro.
with who you are. Be
Right.
happy with who you are, and they're happy with who they are. So why not be happy with who you are, boo?
Is this whippets? Is this a consequence of whippets? Go get sober and then talk to me. Like, what is that? What is that? Alpha male.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. What's going on?
Yeah, so I just want to say, like, I concur with, like, your statement, like, being that Syria is probably
You
gonna.
concur. The world knows, and now the world knows. Leftist Appa.
Do you think Iran will get struck? I mean, do you think the West will strike Iran next year?
This dude thinks I'm the vending machine robotic fortune teller that's at Halloween USA. And he's gonna put in a corner. He's gonna ask me a question about the future. Except he's not even paying me any money. He thinks I'm Zoltar. That mechanical fortune teller. Except he's not even giving me money, paying me for these questions. So that's the issues we're dealing with tonight, frankly. Look, it looks like we don't got a lot more people. I mean, go to bed, everybody. Go to bed. Go to bed. I don't know what to tell you. Go to bed. Everybody go to bed. It's way too late. I got to go to bed. It's 2 a.m. You know how it is. And everybody follow me, or you are on some polyamorous energy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like simple as and get these hats out of my life forever. I have hats. I don't need these hats. Anyway, we're gonna end it right there. Hold on, we got somebody new. We got Mo Menace. Give this person a chance. What's going on? Yeah, that's another dude playing Overwatch on the bandwidth. He's downloading Call of Duty. He's watching 8K Netflix. He's on YouTube, taking up the bandwidth. He's playing Clash of Clans Royale with zero latency on VR. while mining Bitcoin. All right. So there you go. There you go. Dude just straight up left. All right. We're going to end it right there. That's exactly where we're going to end it, and it's going to end. So